NBA basketball totals for Tuesday, January 3rd. This is our segment where we look at the total set by oddsmakers in the NBA, and we try to beat that line either over or under the total that they set, and that's what this segment's about. We also have our NCAA basketball segment that covers the same topic, trying to beat the totals. And the totals, again, for you new guys, that's the line set by oddsmakers that tries to guess about the final score of the game, and we try to, again, beat that line either over or under. Don't forget to check out SBR for all the odds as well. Sportsbook review, all the sportsbook reviews are there, and sign-up bonuses, all that good stuff at our website. So be sure to check us out, and let's go ahead and let's get into some games here. Ugh, I can barely talk. All right, we got 3 games on the board today. First one up is Minnesota and Philadelphia. Now, they met a little while back to not a very interesting game where Minnesota beat them by like 20, and Philadelphia shot under 40% from the floor. Both of them shot under 30% from distance. It was really an unexciting game. Now, the final total of that game, though, ended up around 195. Oddsmakers have this at 203.5, and I'm going under. I'm actually going under on all my plays today. I'm not going to get that last game so much. It was just not an interesting one. What I want to talk about is their stats today. Now, offensively, Minnesota not bad. They're averaging 103.7 points per game. Not bad. Philadelphia, not good at all. 99 points per game. They're ranked 24th in the NBA. Defensively is not good either. So that gives me a little bit of pause when taking the under on this game. But the tempo is what gets me to go ahead and back the under. Also, their offensive shooting percentages are terrible. Neither team's playing really great on the defensive side, but offensively, you got a Philadelphia team that shoots just 45% from the floor. They rank right in the middle of the league. And then you have a Minnesota team that shoots 45% from the floor. They rank right in the middle of the league. And then you got Philadelphia shooting 43.6%. That ranks 27th in the league. Actually, Philadelphia is actually playing a little bit better than last year. But the tempo, neither team gets up a lot of shots. About 84 attempts per game. They rank 22nd and 23rd in the league, right next to each other as far as attempts per game. So they don't go at a really fast pace. And then you got Minnesota. They're allowing just 81.9 attempts per game, which ranks 4th in the league. They go slow. Philadelphia, they rank in about the middle of the league in allowing tempo, but their offensive percentages across the board, you're talking about 2 teams that are in the middle of the league or worse, and defensively, they're not that great either, but they also rank in the middle of the league for opponents' field goals made per game. So, 14th and 15th, Minnesota 14th, Philadelphia 15th. I like for this to stay under. I just don't think they get to that 203. I think it's going to stay under 200. So I'm going to back under the total with Minnesota and Philadelphia. Next one up. Again, going under in all my plays today. We got Indiana and Detroit, 203. Last game they met up, Indiana won at Detroit, 105 to 90. That was just a little while back. And Detroit shot horribly. They shot 38% from the floor overall, but neither team shot really well from distance, with Detroit shooting 33% and Indiana 31%. They just didn't have a really good shooting game on either side. The tempo wasn't that fast, and I don't think we're going to see anything super fast today either. You're talking about in that game where they got up 84 and 83 attempts, and that's about right for Detroit. So I think we're going to see something similar to that today in Detroit again. Right now, Indiana offensively, they're not bad. They rank in the middle of the league. They're averaging 104.5 points per game. Detroit, not good at all, averaging 98.8. They've been struggling. There seems like they're starting to come out of it, though, but they rank 27th in scoring. Defensively is what I like, though, from both these teams today to go ahead and get some stops. Indiana ranks about the middle of the league in most of their shooting percentages. Detroit ranks in the middle of the league, but they do rank 25th in shooting efficiency. Not good at all, and they're a really poor free throw shooting team. Detroit defensively, though, decent. They rank in around that top 10 area in most shooting percentage categories. Like they rank 9th in opponent effective field goal percentage and shooting efficiency. Pretty good defense by Detroit. Indiana's not bad either. They rank 8th in opponent effective field goal percentage. And they rank 6th, allowing opponents to shoot just 44.4% from the floor. So pretty good defense by Indiana. And I think they're going to go ahead and hold Detroit to a reasonable number. I don't think it's going to get over this total here of 203. I just don't think they're going to get there in this matchup. Even though Indiana under Nate McMillan, likes to go pretty fast, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a defensive affair, and I do not think they get to 203. All right, last one up. Arguably the best game of the day here. We got Utah and Boston. That's going to be a really good matchup. Again, I'm going under the 201 set by oddsmakers. They haven't played this year, but Utah, they just got done playing a really, really fast Brooklyn team, and they held them to a very low number. They're facing a similar type of tempo team in Boston, one that likes to get up and down the floor, not as much as last year, but still. Excuse me. But Boston, they're playing some defense. I mean, right now, let's look at them defensively. Boston is allowing opponents to shoot under 45% from the floor. They rank 12th in the league in that category. Utah ranks third in the league, allowing opponents to shoot 42.9%. Utah is a really good defense. They're arguably the best defense in the NBA. They rank first in opponent efficiency, first in opponent effective field goal percentage. They're just really good across the board. Utah is very efficient offensively, though, which complements that, and their slow pace, which gets me to my final point, the slow pace. I don't think, again, they're going to get to a really high number because you're talking about a Utah team that gets up 76.9 attempts per game. They're ranked last in the NBA. And like I mentioned, Boston's not going as fast as last year. They rank outside of the top 10 in attempts per game, and they don't allow a lot ranking outside of the top. Well, they rank 12th in attempts. I would want to go the other way with that. They rank 12th in attempts allowed per game, 84.8. That's a pretty good number for for us staying under this total. Utah's averaging 98.9 points per game. Boston's averaging 106.1, but again, I think this is just going to be a defensive battle. Utah's kind of in a tough spot here, coming off the second leg of a back-to-back. Like I mentioned, they played Brooklyn just last night. So I think they're going to lean on their defense, on their strength, and for this to go ahead and stay under that total set by oddsmakers of 201. All right, let's break this down one last time. We got Minnesota, Philadelphia under the 203.5. I think it's going to be similar to when they first matched up. Indiana, Detroit under 203, although Indiana likes to go fast. I just don't see that happening this game. And then Utah, Boston under the 201, with Utah leaning on their defense to get them through and try to beat a very tough Boston team at home. Very good matchup. That's the game you want to watch today. Those are our 3 NBA picks for the totals, all unders. I wish you luck on your picks today.
That's right, the 8th annual SBR Forum Bash will be held at the breathtaking all-inclusive Hard Rock Hotel in Punta Cana on Super Bowl weekend. Join Natalie Rydstrom and the Odds Couple as they mingle with SBR pros and have fun under the sun. Stay tuned for video coverage of Bash activities, including a $5,000 poker tournament sponsored by uwager.eu. Only on SBR, your sportsbook authority since 1999.